Okay, imagine this. It's a freezing night in the Pacific Northwest. The temperature is absolutely plummeting. You're huddled up on the couch, wrapped in like 3 blankets, and suddenly, silence. Your furnace just straight up quits. It's pretty much a homeowner's worst nightmare, right? Well, welcome to today's explainer. Today, we're using Renton, Washington as our ultimate testing ground for home climate systems. We're going to unpack exactly why these systems fail when they're pushed to the brink, and more importantly, how you can protect your own home's invisible engine. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll look at the local climate challenge, then the anatomy of system breakdowns. After that, codes and quality standards. And finally, we'll wrap up with the homeowner's playbook. All right, let's dive right into section 1, the local climate challenge, or as I like to call it, the invisible enemy. Now, when most people think of the Pacific Northwest, they just think, oh, it's pleasantly rainy. But the Puget Sound marine influence creates a staggering local reality. We're talking about 70 to 85% humidity just hovering in the air during the rainy season. And you really shouldn't think of this as just damp air. Actually, scratch that. You need to think of it as an active, corrosive force. It's literally silently rotting away attic insulation and basically throwing a massive welcome party for mold inside air handlers. It's a relentless year-round stress test. But, it's not even just the moisture. When summer temperatures suddenly spike into the 90s out of nowhere, these completely dormant air conditioners are forced into sudden overdrive. And boom, that triggers instant capacitor failures. Then you have to factor in proximity. If your home happens to be near major highways like I-405 or the Boeing facility, well, your system is constantly swallowing this rapid particulate buildup that chokes up your air filters way, way faster than a house out in the quiet suburbs. Let's move right along to section 2, anatomy of system breakdowns. Basically, what actually fails when things go south. So what really happens when this intense climate finally just overwhelms the hardware? We start seeing some incredibly specific casualties. Because of that persistent heavy moisture we talked about, you get severe corrosion on electrical connections. Heat pumps, they suffer from reversing valves that simply get stuck, which literally traps you in one temperature mode. No fun at all. Condensate drains get completely clogged up with algae, triggering a total system shutdown. And if you combine all that with undersized or leaking ductwork, well, you've got a perfect recipe for failure. To counter this kind of chaos, professional interventions have to be highly strategic. Local experts, like the folks at Peak HVAC Seattle, follow a really strict rhythm. First, rapid response and precise diagnosis. There is absolutely no guessing allowed here. Next up is execution. Because they know exactly what breaks in the specific climate, their trucks are already fully stocked with localized parts. That means immediate, on-the-spot fixes. And finally, rigorous system testing to verify the repair actually holds up under real-world conditions. Which brings us nicely to section 3, codes and quality standards. This is how we fight back. See, just fixing a broken machine isn't enough. They have to be built to survive in the first place. Let's translate some contractor jargon here for a second. The Washington State Energy Code legally mandates minimum efficiency ratings to prevent contractors from installing inefficient, money-wasting equipment in your house. For air conditioners, the minimum standard is a SEER rating of 14. For heat pumps, it's an HSPF rating of 8.2. These aren't just suggestions, they are legal baselines designed to keep your energy bills from going completely through the roof. And environmental protection and system efficiency, they absolutely go hand in hand. That's exactly why EPA Section 608 certification is totally non-negotiable. It's a federal mandate ensuring technicians properly capture and recover refrigerants rather than just illegally venting them into the sky. But hey, beyond just obeying the law, proper recovery guarantees your system gets the exact right chemical charge it needs to actually, cool your home efficiently. And before a single piece of equipment is even installed, we have to talk about the manual J load calculation. I know it sounds like boring math, but it is the critical difference between a perfectly conditioned home and an absolute nightmare. If a unit is too big for your square footage, it's going to short cycle, meaning it turns on and off super rapidly, which essentially drives it to an early grave. Proper sizing is quite literally everything. Okay, let's get to the really good stuff. Section 4, the homeowner's playbook. These are your rules to save by. Now for the highly actionable rules you absolutely need in your back pocket. It's the ultimate majorly anxiety-inducing question every single homeowner faces when staring down a broken AC unit on a boiling summer day. Do I pay to fix this thing, or do I just bite the bullet and replace the whole shebang? Enter the $5,000 rule. It is a foolproof mathematical formula that removes all the stress and emotion from the decision. Here is how it works. If your system is over 10 years old, multiply the estimated repair cost by the unit's age. If that number exceeds $5,000, you need to replace the unit. So, for example, a $400 repair on a 15-year-old unit equals $6,000. Stop repairing it. It's time to replace it. Simple as that. All right, here's another super vital scenario for you. You're in the middle of a massive summer storm. The power flickers, your AC shuts off, and the house instantly starts heating up. Why shouldn't you just run right over to the thermostat and immediately restart that tripped unit? Because, my friends, you need to follow the 3-minute rule. When an AC shuts down, the refrigerant pressures inside become highly unbalanced. If you force an immediate restart, the compressor's motor has to violently fight against immense high head pressure. This causes massive stress and can trigger a fatal electrical failure. A simple 3-minute pause allows those pressures to equalize, and it literally saves your compressor from completely destroying itself. Just wait 3 minutes. Now, knowing these rules is fantastic, for sure, but executing them requires the right personnel. The installation factor dictates that who you hire matters just as much as the equipment you actually choose. You need a contractor who truly, deeply understands regional climate demands, like crawl space moisture management and all those little local housing nuances. And when it's time to hire, you usually face a choice, right? A local contractor or big box stores like Home Depot or Costco. While big box stores do offer easy warranties, the source material notes they heavily prioritize volume, and honestly, the quality of their subcontractors can wildly fluctuate. On the flip side, dedicated local pros provide direct accountability and the exact custom ductwork solutions necessary to handle the really specific condensation issues we see in this region. All of this brings us right back to the absolute necessity of precision. Right-sizing your equipment saves money. Oversized units short cycle and fail prematurely. Undersized units run constantly and burn out. To hit that much-coveted 15 to 20-year lifespan, you absolutely need exact sizing, professional installation, and rigorous annual maintenance. There's really no shortcut. So, we've explored the corrosive local climate, the anatomy of exactly how parts fail, the strict building codes, and the golden rules of home climate survival. So, I'm going to leave you with this to think about. Is your home's invisible engine truly prepared for the next extreme season, or are you just one unexpected heat wave away from facing the $5,000 rule?